Since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, humans have produced CO2 at an alarming rate. This production of CO2 has been blamed for global warming or an average increase of global temperature. However, the unspoken effect of global climate change that is also caused by rising CO2 levels is ocean acidification. It is only until recently that scientists have been discovering how these rising CO2 levels have an impact on the chemistry of our oceans and therefore an impact on almost all marine life. We asked a local biology and chemistry teacher to tell us how these rising CO2 levels affect all of marine life and as a result, us as well.
Well, it's very important to certain organisms in the ocean. So the pH of seawater affects organisms that have to produce shells, particularly calcium carbonate shells. The reason that that's a problem is because calcium carbonate becomes more soluble when the pH is decreased. Acids basically dissolve calcium carbonate. And since calcium carbonate is an important structural part of a lot of organisms in the ocean, the base of a coral reef is made out of calcium carbonate. Yeah. So when the coral is trying to build its reef, it makes it more difficult to build a reef if the oceans are more acidic. Also, lots of planktonic organisms have small parts of their bodies are calcium carbonate as a structural part of their body. And so it makes it so calcium carbonate organisms in the plankton community have a difficult time producing calcium carbonate body parts. And so it's affecting the ocean in many ways. That affects the food chain, obviously. And so there's lots of ways it affects the ocean in negative ways.
Seafood makes up 16% of the world's protein, and since millions upon millions of people depend on the ocean for survival, this is why ocean acidification is such a concern. However, there are forms of combating the negative effects that the rising CO2 levels have on our oceans.
Lower their carbon footprint, which means make better choices with regards to transportation. So if it's a short trip, instead of jumping in a car, jump on a bicycle or walk. Products that people buy, some products require a lot of fossil fuels in their production. And to try to identify products that don't require such a high production of carbon. Another thing is that people can choose to shop locally. So if you buy local products, and that means that there's not as much transportation involved. And transportation obviously is one of the biggest things that results in burning of fossil fuels.